This is an SD Organ Company Style H chapel organ made in 1929. The serial number is 441848. This has fake pipes, and as you can see, there's no space inside those pipes. They're just solid wood. So they're non-speaking, and therefore they're called dummies. So we have a dummy pipe top on top of an organ. The pipe tops are rare these days to find, so it's good to have this example. Again, it's solid oak. This SD always made organs which were styles that lasted. They weren't anything which was a fad, so they look as good now as they did the day they were made. I will demonstrate some of these stops. We have 5 octaves here, F to F, and we have mostly a symmetrical setup. So we have the couplers, the bass coupler and the treble coupler. We can see the bass coupler operating and the treble coupler operating. We have the sub bass, which is the 13 notes from C to C. And then we have so-called choral, which is a set in the back used as a solo stop or to fill out the sounds. Then we have a bourdon. Now, there are foot designations on each of these stop knobs, these stop faces. Can you see that?
Very closely. Yes.
You can. Okay, good. So, moving over to diapason, which is the correct pronunciation. Diapason, 8 feet. An 8-foot pitch is the same pitch as a piano. Middle C will sound the same as a piano or a violin or any other instrument like that. The reason is that on a pipe organ, this C is the lowest note on the keyboard, and it goes up 5 octaves to the next C. And the speaking length of this pipe, if this were a pipe, it's a reed, and so it's about the size of my finger. But if it were a pipe, it would actually be 8 feet long. So that's why it's called the 8-foot set. And therefore the one an octave higher, octave means that you have or double vibrations. And this is true for light, it's true for all other calibrations like that. So we have, for example, a C, an 8-foot C. We also have a 4-foot, which sounds an octave higher. It sounds the same as the middle C. We have an octave lower, which would be, if we have 8-foot here, the octave lower must be 16. To get that sound with a pipe, you have to have a 16-foot pipe. But as we will see a little later, if you put a stopper in that, the wave has to go to the end and come back down, which makes it twice as long. So you can have an 8-foot pipe with a stopper and a 16-foot sound. Very clever. So the sub bass is the same, but much larger reeds. Okay, these reeds are about as wide as my thumb and quite long. Okay, and this organ also has a 2-foot. We have here the 8-foot, the 4-foot, and the octave higher, which is 2 sets of reeds tuned off like in an accordion. So we have that nice sound. That's only from middle D down. Now you might wonder why I am drawing a diapason on the left and a diapason on the right. That is because reed organs are almost always divided in the middle at B and C or at E and F or somewhere else. But there is a division in the compass. So if I'm playing from here, where is that note? It's right here. So if I want to have the whole thing 16-foot. Organs are the only instruments which have a choice of sounds, choice of timbres, meaning sound quality, and choice of pitches, meaning the 8-foot, the 4-foot, the 16, and such. And therefore, your job as an organist is to put together the sounds. Okay, I want a basic sound here. I'm using the knee swell on the right. But if I want a little brighter, I add the 4-foot. And you don't really notice it's there, but if I take it off, you hear that it is there. And then we can have the octave lower added to that. Times what an organist will do is they will draw the 16, the 8, and the 4, and they will play up an octave. So you have a full sound. We have other choices here as well. In addition to the 8, the 4, and the 16, we have a separate 8-foot, which is tuned off slightly the same way the harp Aeolian, a 2-foot was. I don't know if this will do it or not. There's one. It's supposed to wave. Creates a wave. It's on purpose.
Before you move on, Ned.
Yes.
Could you, without even any commentary, play that same piece, demonstrate that same thing after I get focused down on your feet? Your feet are still working beautifully down there.
They have to be, yes. I don't know what I played.
Oh, it's irrelevant, really.
Oh, okay.
To be honest with you.
Okay, I'll pull something out, though, right?
Yes. Okay.
Or
I'm ready for you.
Okay, maybe I did an octave higher up here. Okay.
That's beautiful.
Okay.
Are you
almost done?
I was just going to ask you how close you are. Hang on, let me get back. Whoop, 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 whoop. Make sure I've got them all in there. Okay, go ahead again.
Okay, so we will hear now the choral, which is from middle C up. Again, I'm opening the knee swell here. We have the diapason.
Do you take hugs? It's unbelievable.
So you notice that that the more stops you have out, the more you need to supply air. The more notes
pumping away like a son of a gun.
The more notes you play, the more keys you have down. In addition to the more stops, then you have to supply a lot of air. Now this is where blowers, electric suction units, these run on vacuum wind, by the way. There's not pressure wind. Pipe organs have to run on pressure wind, but reed organs can run on either vacuum or pressure. And SD organs, as most organs made in the United States and Canada, called American organs, operate specifically on suction wind or vacuum wind.
Is there a thumbnail version of, could you explain those? Maybe not vacuum versus suction. I don't know if people watching are going to know what you mean.
Okay. Okay. When you play a harmonica, some of the notes you blow out, some of the notes you draw in. And that's what we're talking about, pressure wind or suction wind. And the choice of the wind direction determines everything how the organ is made. The bellows is made different, the chests are made different, and you have different options for the stops and for how the keys operate. In Europe, the harmonium, which was a patented instrument, which sort of like the Frigidaire ran away, those are on pressure wind. Did that help?
Thank you, yes. Perfect.
Ready for a question, Dan?
Okay, wait a minute. I wondered if I needed to say something else here a second. No, okay, go ahead.
Is there a reason you want to play this one?
Yes.
All right. In that case, why don't you reposition?
Okay.
And I'm going to zoom in. Okay. If you put all those stops back.
Okay. I want to say that you need to push the stops in when you're done. I would like that to be on camera.
Sure.
Okay. Are we ready?
When you want to,
Okay. You're going to take a picture of me pushing stops, right?
You push the stops. I'll get the wide here.
Okay. You let me know when.
Come back in.
Oh, there is one thing I forgot. Okay, and I will add this very quickly. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, let's. Okay, you ready?
I am your student.
Yeah. Okay. So on the later organs, there are two knee levers. The one on the right is the swell, which we can hear. Again, that allows the brightness to be heard as well as some more volume. The left knee lever is called the grand organ, which comes from French, and it means put everything on. So if, for example, we're playing along in so when I open that left lever, I get all the reeds suddenly.
It's unbelievable.
So that's very useful. What I just did is I played the end of an offertory, and then I played the introduction so people could stand up to sing the doxology.
It's unbelievable how complicated this is.
Right. But the object of these is that they're expressive. That's the point. That's why reed organs were invented, the expressive organ. They're also invented so that an organ-like instrument, something which was wind-powered and had continuous sound, for example, if I do this, we're going to get this sound forever. If it was a piano, it would be gone by now. With a violin, I would run out of bow or breath. So this is another reason, a small enough instrument for chamber music that you could take it around, and it was a very useful invention. It's basically a product of the 19th century. These organs were being experimented with, free reeds they're so-called, because the reed passes through a frame rather than striking on the top of a frame like some reeds and pipe organs do. So these were a brand new thing, and everybody sort of said, hey, I'll make one. Somebody made this, they made that, and people in this area, in Brattleboro, over in New Hampshire, Sullivan and Winchester and Keene is where Joseph Foster was. In Concord, New Hampshire, down in Canton, Mass, Boston. This was the beginning of the reed organ industry, which then developed into organs like this and went worldwide, and there were hundreds of companies that made thousands and thousands of organs. Este made more than 521,000 reed organs. I have seen a serial number which is higher than 521,000. That's a lot. Okay, when you get done playing, it is imperative that you close all of the stops. Reason being is what that does is it shuts off the air to the reeds, and it keeps dust from getting in there, and it keeps bugs from making nests and other things. So it keeps the organ clean and it protects it. If you want to leave them out because it looks good, well, that's too bad. Push them in. Any sort of knee levers and things which you have which are locked open, make sure they're closed. If you want to leave the key cover, which is called a fall board, for an obvious reason, and if you want to keep that open or shut, that's up to you. So there it is, and this organ happens to have a place in here for music. Haha.